They're given to us. And the fact that they're given to us, we think that we're supposed to, you know, receive their blessings. But no, everybody that prayed with us is not praying with us. And I had to learn that. And it really poured into me. It increased my territory. It rained on my parade where it hurt me. It broke me down. It made me go into this rant and eggshell that I didn't want to be in no more, that I thought I healed from. Let me talk about that part. I thought I healed from it, and then it pierced me. But when I say Talijah Maleekah healed from it, but Talijah Maleekah didn't heal from it as the mother of. So when it has something to do, and this is with as the mother of Ramir. Not only is it Ramir, it's Zori, Isaiah, Talijah, but this is a Ramir and mom situation, and now I need to pull my soldiers in. Like, Ramir need love. Like, Ramir need his people. Like, he need to know what's up, because it's not that bad. And coming from the city of Trenton, and to him residing in South Jersey, in the suburbs, where he's not hearing gunshots, he hearing crickets since he was 3 years old, and now he's 16. His environment, his palette of different cultures that he done interacted with has exuded my palette as a 16-year-old, as a 14-year-old, as a 15-year-old, as a 13-year-old, as a 12-year-old, okay? As an 8-year-old, as a 7-year-old. Like, he already receiving things that I never received from the gate, okay? I did that because I wanted that. I could have had that. You understand? And I was in the trench where I felt like, well, maybe he should experience more of that because he's my son. That's how I felt, like that son that I always wanted. But I didn't see myself talking about my son and knowing that as a mother at the age of 18, 18, I was pregnant 17, had him 7 days later after my birthday, so I was 18 for 7 days. So a mother at 18 didn't know that I wanted him to be not in the city. I wasn't thinking about that at 8 or 9 years old when I was talking about a kid. My son, not a kid. It was precisely my son. Like, I manifest that. Where God gave me my first, like I said, I'm going to have a son first, and then whoever going to follow. But my son going to lead this. My son. So the fact that my son was able to be used by God, because everything was divinely guided, nothing but God used my son to increase my territory, to pour into me, to rain on my field, to shake up some things and make it uncomfortable for me so I could dig deep and find the inner strength that's already within me. I could call on Jesus, Jack, the Pope, the lady down the street that always talked to me, or my ex-mother or something. Who knows? I don't know. However, it's already within me. This is a situation where all of these people's hands was in the pot, stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring, to the point where their hands is stirred up in a pot and got stuck. When it got stuck, I couldn't call on them because they can't answer. They don't have the answers for me. That's what happened when they put their hand in the pot. Mind other people's birthday business, but in a way where you were part of this pot. You helped make this pot so sturdy and heavy so that we can all be able to receive abundance from it. So I thought, because my pot doesn't align with their pot. So now I got to do something differently. But they can still be the celery, they can still be the carrot, they can still be the onion in the stew. They're just not the whole dundada. They're not it. Okay? They just not it. But they're needed. They're needed in this situation. They play a major role. But how are you going to receive it when it's happening to you? What are you going to do about it when it's not just Talijah no more? It's Talijah plus 4. Or it's you plus your 2. Or it's you and your newborn baby that you carry for the first time, experiencing emotions and things that you never experienced before, because this is your first pregnancy. This is your first pregnancy. So since this is your first pregnancy, this is all new to you, okay? There's people around there probably had it, but they wasn't in your shoes. They wasn't going through what you was going through. They wasn't feeling what you was feeling. They wasn't up with you 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when you pacing back and forth to heal from something you didn't see for yourself, because all you did was show up and be the authentic person that you was, and the next person couldn't receive it because they wasn't supposed to receive it because it was never for them. Let me talk about that part. It was never for them But it was for you to learn that. Okay? Because they seen what they wanted to see in you and they got what they needed to get from you. And it's okay to keep people going. And when they keep it going, allow them to keep going. Don't open the door back again. Why I open the door back? A lot. A lot. A lot. And I want you to take from me of being burnt the way that I was burnt by keep putting my hand on the stove that I already knew the fuck was hot. Like that. Learn from me. Don't burn your hand too, baby. You ain't got to. Let me do that for you. I did it for you already. I did it for you. Take that. Take that. Learn from me. Learn from me. And that's why it's important to share the video, because somebody can take something and learn from me. But let me tell you something. Go through it. Don't try to avoid it. You can't avoid it. You have to go through it. You got to learn from it. You need to write it down. You need to let that shit sit. Remind yourself that that happened. Because let me tell you, a narcissist, a manipulator, a person that don't want you to see what it really is will fuck with your head. They will try, because your heart is pure. Remember, your heart is pure. You have great intentions. So of course you want to see the best in them. Of course you don't want to believe that that's really what they meant, because you see their potential and they don't. Of course you want to do all these things. I'm telling you, it will happen. I'm telling you, it will happen. And when it do, listen, divinely guided. Be divinely guided. God, decrease me, increase you. Pray that prayer. Say that. God, decrease me, increase you. 7, completion. Boom. I didn't even know that. God, decrease me, increase you. 7, I did not know. I was completing these chapters in my life with these folks because God, decrease me, increase you was the prayer for all of these folks that came around me to pretend, okay? God, decrease me, increase you. God, I can't fight all these people at once, but I want to. I want to. Yeah, I want to, but I couldn't. I'm 34. I'm not about to be doing that. Like, I'm on a whole different line. Like, it's going to be easier for me to do what I need to do, but then I'm going to be set the fuck out, and I wasn't getting set the fuck out. Why? Because I still had Rainier, Zaria, Isaiah, and Talijah. And most importantly, Talijah Maleekah. I don't want to be in no building behind no motherfucking bars and being told what the hell to do. I don't want that for me. And I don't want to be parted from my kids this early because it could go one or another. You understand? It ain't always got to be me in jail. Because 9 out of 10, I don't want to get caught. I don't think I'm going to get caught either, but you never know. So, I have to laugh about that because it's real for me to laugh about it. Because, let me tell you, when the hand is being dealt in a different fashion for you to grow and, like, learn from, I was tested with my son. Like, this was a test I never imagined for myself. Okay, when I say I never imagined for myself, I never imagined this for myself. Like, I know that things happen and stuff like that, but you couldn't tell me that all of that was going to happen. Like, you couldn't tell me I was going to go through the motions that I went through the motions with my 16-year-old son. You can't tell me. A lot of people couldn't believe it, but it was happening. It was my truth. I explained it. I said it. I had to even remind my son that this is the things that he did, because it was like a lack of accountability. But you're not about to make this a different scenario. Like, I need you to take in what I'm telling you said did. I need you to watch this. I need you to read this. And then you tell me what you think about this. Because I know my son. And when that shit was like weird and over there and over there and over there, I'm like, oh. Bitch, this not my son. Something happened. Like, what happened? Like, something. And this is what I'm saying. You're never going to know what happened in your life. You just got to always be ready. And not take your moment of going outside and getting that sunlight on you or going to take a shower to get ready. Because you got to get ready. Especially if it ain't just you. You got kids. If it ain't just that child. You got more kids that need you outside of this child. I have a 16-year-old and a 3-year-old. That 3-year-old still need me way after this 16-year-old become an 18-year-old. She's still going to need me. I have to still be here for her. I cannot let this one kid take me away or put me in situations where the other 3 that I chose to have suffer. and could possibly be left in the hands of those that they thought was beneficial for them because I allowed them to come into our village. So it's like sometimes you gotta go through it, but it's not just yourself. Now you gotta go through it with your kids to let them know, like, okay, well, this is what happens when these things happen, and this is what you do to do it, and this is how I'm gonna go about it, and this is what I want y'all to know, because it might be uncomfortable, it might be this, but we gonna make it through this. None of this is not happening because it's not supposed to happen. Because if it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't be happening. So what are we gonna do, kids? Like, I talk to my kids because, like I said, I had to talk to myself in the mirror. So if I'm good to talk to myself in the mirror and talk myself through some things, why the hell when I'm talking to my kids, my whole womb, that or whatever I experience in the universe, in the world, while my kid is being nurtured in my womb, you know what I mean? I had to harbor my emotions and my feelings and the things that I did and said and the way I spoke, the way I ate, the way I moved while I was nurturing these kids. So I know already what it is to pour into them and to protect them by mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, healthy wise. Like, I'm going to protect them at all costs. I'm going to not have before they not have, period. So if I allow people to come around them, I got to unlearn and relearn. They got to unlearn and relearn. Because everybody that doesn't mean you good, even those that are given to you. And I would like to know that my kids, as a tribe of 4, will always be there for each other as siblings. Like, I felt like in my household, it was like a conquer and divide. And more so, hearing from my mother speak is like, I did the best that I could do, and I gave those that needed what they needed. Whether that means less for you and more for them, that's the way she see fit. And me, on the other hand, like, no, that's not fair. And so I knew that I would never want none of my kids to feel like this one. Because kids going to feel the way they feel from time to time. You can do everything. But it was an even playing field. That means we all get talked to. We all get treated the same way. And I'm going to try my best. But just because you want to play soccer doesn't mean you got to play soccer too. Like, I'm not that mom that feel like, oh, well, this kid plays soccer. I want you to play soccer. Even if you don't like soccer, son, you going to play soccer. Man, that's not what I mean by that. What I mean by that is, if I have another kid tomorrow, not tomorrow, it ain't happening. I don't want to be pregnant no more. I would not mind having more children, but I don't want to be pregnant no more. However, I want to nurse. I want to do everything. I want to make sure that my mind, body, and soul is aligned and that my child is receiving the greatness of everything. So that's why I know that I won't have any more kids as of in my future. Like, I don't see that. I'm not speaking that. I'm cool off that. This was a tough thing for me to say just now, and I said it because I meant it. However, I will not mind having more children at the same time. Booyah. So I just knew, like, if I was to have a kid right in there, that kid needs to have the same thing that Talijah has, Isaiah has, Zaria has, Ramir has. And that comes with their bank accounts, with savings, different savings that I have, different things that I have for them. Like, so it's not that, oh, still, say if I put $200 a month divided into the 4 of them, so that's $50 in each account. She's not going to start, or he's not going to start at $50 for that month of July because they was born in July. No, they need Ramir's amount. That's the type of mom that I am. I want it to be even. Everybody's account should resemble the same. You understand what I'm saying by that? So that's something I learned from that, and it worked for her and for us because it wasn't that bad. But there's things that emotionally I needed that I didn't receive. There were things that maybe my other siblings didn't receive that I received. So you can't, I know that as a parent, you cannot always, I just learned from my upbringing and those that how they were raised around me, and that's what made me the parent and the mother that I am today. To be able to be divinely guided to raise 4 children graciously by myself the way I do. Now, yes, I was in relationship with my oldest kid's father and my baby girl father. So therefore, we had time together to nurture and pour into these kids together. But when it gets real and gotta go, of course, they're 9 times out of 10 with the mother. And my kids is with me, period. You know what I mean? And with all that being said, for my son and I to experience the things that I experienced and he experienced, that couldn't be undone. Like, And it's not done, I feel like, because he's still growing into the young man that he is divinely guided to be. So it's like I had to, God, decrease me, increase you, because it was a lot. It was a lot where my feelings got hurt easy. Like, when I say easy, it was easy because this is my son. Like, this is my son. Like, I'm not used to certain things. I'm not used to us even going toe-to-toe the way we had to go toe-to-toe verbally. You know what I mean? Like, no, we don't do this when you start doing this. Or who, like, so of course, naturally, I'm the mom. So I'm feeling the type of way because it's been us thick of thieves. Like, from birth to now, that's my son. God gave him 7 days later after I was born. Like, this is the son I talked about since I was young. The kid that I always wanted. You know what I mean? So I just feel like healing, patience, peace be still, prayer, accountability, paying attention, being aware, listening to your higher dying self is a task that all parents need to have and encourage and to make come out often. Like, whew. I'm just going to continue to thank God, because there's nothing but God that got me through it. God got me through it. He know I had to go through it so I can grow through it, so that we can all grow through it, because it wasn't just me that went through it. My daughters, his sisters, like, they went through it. You know what I mean? They go through it. So this was bigger than me. This is beyond me. I didn't write this in my journal. I didn't manifest that. But I did say, God, what's for me is for me. I did write that. What you have for me is for me. So being that I wrote that, I had to grow through this. I had to channel that. I had to make sure that I'm aware. Like, I'm woke. Like, I'm on point. Like, I don't care what the world and outside people is saying about me, thinking of me. I don't care about the way they see fit that things should be handled. I gotta do this way and that way, because these people is weird. Like, the devil busy, not my baby. Not my baby. Not my baby. Period. I don't care who you are. Mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, aunt, spouse, father, grandmother, granddaughter, sister, cousins. And they gonna try it. I've been tried. They tried me. But God had the last say. He's asked, that's that up. Ooh, another one, that's that up. Ooh, up, like, up. Wait, let me run. I had to run a little bit though. I had to run. Like, I had to really run. Because this one kept coming. And it's like, lady, if you don't go now. It got so good that the lady had to be told by 2 people, okay? I'm going to say 2 judges. And it was a male energy and a female energy. Because that's what God seen fit for her. God wanted her to play her cards. God wanted me to peace be still.